Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 43. I'm Adam and today I got two more beasts fighting out for a spot in round 2. However, I'm not very happy about this matchup because there's a very obvious winner here. And Lucas has not let me forget that. And I am upset to have to end up doing this fight because I do obviously want the other beasts to win more. But unfortunately, if you go against one of the top 5 from the original tournament and the other beast made it to round 2 then died, there's obviously going to be a bit of an obvious winner there. So with that, let's introduce the beast. So, representing Series 5, the Shade of Death. And after this fight, only one more beast from that series will be left to fight in the tournament. Well, in round 1 anyway. This is book number 3 of Series 5, Rokk, the Walking Mountain. And representing Series 17, the Broken Star, with one of their team already fighting and making it to round 2. It is book number 1, Gryph, the Feathered Fiend. So, I obviously prefer one more than the other. However, this one made it to the top 5 in the Old Generation tournament and lost to Crystal. This one made it to round 2 and lost to Morax. Yay. I'm sure there's something I can do to at least make this fight interesting. There is a rocky terrain battlefield, not to give Rokk the advantage, but also because the most generic battlefield, I'm afraid. So we're going to work with what we got. But with that, let's get to the stats. I'm not happy about this matchup. I'm really not. It's going on and on about how Gryph did brilliant, and now he's going to die in round 1. Okay, now let's get to the weaknesses. So we're going to start with Rokk first, as he's first numerically. His one and only weakness is enchantments. Because he's a good beast, Rokk is susceptible to enchantments. And for Gryph, his weakness is flammable feathers. Gryph's feathers can be set on fire. Neat. Okay then. So with that, Rokk, Gryph, let's get to the fight. So as the chamber doors open, Gryph immediately shoots through the sky exit and shoots an ice beam at the entire battlefield, turning the rocky terrain field into what looks like a whole sheet of ice. The ice beam then spreads towards the walls, where it freezes over the walls and turns the walls into ice as well, where it seems like the whole temperature of the arena has just dropped from a neutral to a cold temperature. Rokk makes his way out, and once stepping on the ice cracks beneath him. However, he seems a bit unfazed by the cold but confused by the arena. He takes another step out and stands up in all his huge glory. And Gryph is just flying around, shoots more ice beam at Rokk's feet, freezes Rokk to his spot. Rokk just lifts his foot up and just stamps it back down, breaking the ice off almost immediately. Gryph realizes he has some work to do. Rokk lifts up one hand and punches towards Gryph. Gryph's able to dodge it, and using her sharp feathered tips, she slices at Rokk's joint of the hand, and and as hard as he tried, it couldn't seem to even chip the rock. Rokk pulls back again and goes to punch Gryph again. Gryph flies out of the way again. This time shoots an ice beam at the joint in Rokk's hand. It freezes over, and then using her sharp feathers, she slices at it again, and this time the ice broke and the rock part fell off. Fell down to the ground. Rokk, in a bit of shock about this. That was okay. I didn't even intend to do that pun. That rhyme. Just stared in confusion and decides what he's gonna do because Gryph is too fast for Rokk to even try and attack. So what Rokk does is that he just waits for Gryph to make the next attack, and Gryph, realizing he now has a method on trying to beat Rokk by dismembering him. He flies on towards Rokk, freezing every joint of Rokk's body and slicing at it repeatedly, where one by one each bit of rock falls down to the ground. Rokk is a pile of rocks after all of that. And then Gryph is horrified to learn that Rokk can reform himself and is back up to where he was originally. Gryph, in utter shock and confusion about that, is left thinking, what's he going to do? So Gryph decides that he's going to try and do another thing. So whilst Rokk is trying to attack Gryph's dodging each one, being as fast as he is, shoots an ice beam towards Rokk's chest, freezing over all the joints of Rokk's chest connecting to his limbs and head, and then starts shooting the ice directly at the chest, freezing the Rokk. Rokk is finding it harder to move his chest, finding it harder to move his chest, and Gryph, avoiding two more attacks from Rokk, swoops down and then swoops up towards Rokk's chest, making a direct beeline for it. And using his claws, he shields his face and angles them in like a drill sort of formation, and forces herself through Rokk's chest. And the momentum that Gryph had going into Rokk's chest was very powerful, to the point where it actually chipped right through Rokk and went right through him. Rokk roars in pain, and in retaliation turns around and smashes his arm down onto the arena wall, which shatters the ice beneath it. And then in another fit of rage, Rokk turns around and tries to smash at Gryph, but Gryph is moving out of the way very quickly, not giving Rokk the opportunity to even hit him. Gryph shoots another ice beam towards Rokk's foot, where he overfreezes Rokk's foot, and Rokk goes to take another step and then immediately slips over and smashes his entire weight on the arena wall, causing cracks to appear all over Rokk's chest. Rokk, realizing that he is he's being beaten by a bird. Very embarrassing for him, by the way. He gets back up, roars in anger, and lifts up his foot and shatters the ice beneath him, but also shattering the rock as well, because the rock is frozen over. Parts of the ice, smash the foot. Rokk realised that was a bit of a silly mistake on his part, and Gryph just kind of gives a squawk of laughter at Rokk's incompetence to even hit him. Rokk, in a fit of rage, detaches one of his hands and throws it towards Gryph. Gryph didn't see that coming, and it hits Gryph right in the wing. Gryph squawks in pain, and in confusion he just sees Rokk's hand rolling towards him as Rokk reconnects it to himself. And when Gryph looks up to see Rokk is just about to punch Gryph directly, knocking Gryph into the arena wall. Gryph gets back up, all confused and dazed. Rokk makes his way over to Gryph, and Rokk lifts up his arm and brings it down on top of Gryph. Gryph shoots an ice beam at Rock's hand to try and freeze it over, and then dives out of the way to where he shatters his own hand. Gryph just barely escapes that one. With a few ruffled feathers, he still feels like he still has a chance in winning this. And Gryph realizes that if he wants to kill Rokk, he needs to go for the main source of all his power, which is his head. So, Gryph shoots an ice beam directly towards Rock's head. However, Rokk already realized what Gryph's plan was, so he lifts up his arm without his hand and just blocks the ice beam as he punches towards Gryph. However, Gryph is dodging that all miraculously, and Gryph just throws over Rock's arm completely to the point where Gryph got annoyed by that and just charges straight towards Rock's arm and smashes right through it, detaching it completely, and the icy Rokk arm smashes to the ground to smithereens. Rokk, realizing he now has one arm, half a leg, and a hole in his chest, realizing he's not doing too good, and Gryph just being a bit injured. Yeah, there's some Rokk is struggling here. Now Gryph then shoots an ice beam towards Rock's head again. However, Rokk uses his other arm, and Gryph's like, okay, here we go again. And a couple minutes later, bish bash bosh, Rock's other arm has been knocked off and smashed. Gryph then shoots another ice beam towards Rock's face. This time, Rokk can't do anything to deflect it apart from try to move, but Rokk, being as slow as he is, because the bigger they are, the slower they are, you know, kind of thing. Plus, he's a mountain, they're notoriously slow. Gryph is able to keep a constant hit on Rock's head, and once when Rock's head starts freezing over with ice, like the ultimate brain freeze, Gryph then flies as high up as he can, whilst Rock's head is completely covered in ice and his body can't seem to move or function properly. Gryph flies up as high as he can, and once when he could just barely see Rokk, he dives down towards Rokk, going as fast as he can, angling his feathers in a drill-like formation around his head so he'll be safe, and charges straight towards Rokk. Rokk is able to move his head up to see Gryph coming in, and Gryph just impacts Rokk right in the forehead, smashing right through him. Rock's head shatters almost immediately after that, and Rock's entire body, the rest of it, just crumbles down to the ground as the main source of the controlling of the rocks has collapsed. So with that, Lucas is gonna hate me with this one. Gryph has won, Rokk has lost. Okay, I know what Lucas is gonna say. So I know Lucas is not gonna be happy about that one. But really, what I have to say to try and cover myself here, I guess, even though it may seem like Rokk would win, at the end of the day, he's a mountain, and like I said in the battle, mountains are notoriously slow. You can be as big as you want, as strong as you want, but if you're like Rokk with being a mountain, you're not exactly that fast, because you're going, what you see is fast, but what to other people's perspective, that's slow. And as Gryph is so much slower, he can just dodge Rokk very well. And then, of course, with the ice beam that Gryph has, if he can freeze the Rokk, it will become softer for Gryph to just go right through, in which Gryph used that to his advantage, and I don't even know if Gryph is a male or a female. I think he's a male. in which Gryph can just essentially drill right through it. And shatter the head, which is the main source of the power. Done. Rokk's dead. Now, like I said, there's nothing I can say to make Lucas agree with my choice here. However, he's just going to need to accept it, because at the end of the day, my word is final. Gryph is moving on to the next round. Rokk is not. Now, I need to be honest, I'm surprised myself that Rokk actually lost. But it's also the way I narrate it. I do wing it at the end of the day. That is a very bad joke. But like I said, that is the way the cookie crumbles, and that is how I narrated it. But that being said, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.